Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remain your Amzad Victoria Yano, the CEO of Victor Designs International. Today I'd like to teach us on how to make a simple padded bag with pattern. Simple padded bag with pattern. And if you're joining me for the first time, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't only subscribe, kindly click on the notification bell so that I can be getting notification on our different videos. This is the bag. Can you see it has a long handle? It also has a short handle. It has zip. Can you see it? Can you see the inside? It has zip. Okay. The design is a H design. Can you see the bottom? Is a H design. So I will teach us on how to make the pattern because we're using a plain leather. Okay, so now we'll move to the materials needed in making the bag. These are the materials that you need in making the bag, and these are the measurements. So the materials that you need a round bowl or cover. You can use it. You can also use your flexible ruler. Okay, and also you need straight scissors, you need D-ring, you need zip stopper, you need hanger, you need D-ring, you need rivet, you need adjuster, you need zip teeth, you need zip cloth, you need foam, you need plain white leather or any color of your choice, you need lining, you can use lining or you use velvet. This is zip cloth. You need cutter, you need puncher, you need sheet board for pattern, and also to make the bag you need soft double faced leather. You can also use soft single faced leather, but not too soft. Okay, so now we'll move to the measurement. You measure the back will be 4 inches while the handle will be 3 inches. Can you see it? So to now get the handle part, the shape of the handle, what you need to do is you measure 0.5 inches. That is from the line. You measure 0.5 inches, then you measure 2.5 inches. Can you see it? 2.5 inches. And then you measure 2 inches. Okay, you measure 2 inches. I hope you can see what I'm doing. You measure 2 inches. Okay, so on the other side also you measure 0.5 inches, you measure 2.5 inches, and you measure 2 inches. So where you measure 2 inches, that's where you measure your 2.5 inches. Okay, so after that, the next thing to do now is to take your round bowl or round cover. Okay, then you place it on it. So where you mark your 2.5 inches, 2 inches by 2.5 inches, then you shape it out. Can you see it? I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, you shape it out. So from there, can you see it? So now you shape from your 2.5 inches, you shape it down to 0.5 inches. So that's what I'm trying to do. So you do the same thing on the other side. So now this is it. To now get the circle in the middle, you measure 0.5 inches and you also measure 0.5 inches at the top. Then you place your round circle inside, and you need to make sure that it is in the middle. Do you understand? So that's what I'm trying to do, to make sure that it's in the middle. So after setting it, then you now mark it out. So now you use your scissors to trace the pattern out. So that's what I'm doing. So to get the shape, wow, we already have the shape. So the inside, you need to use your cutter to just notch it, then you use your scissors to cut it. While you are trying to cut it, you need to be careful so that you don't overcut. Okay, so this is our pattern. So this is all we use for the front and the back. This is all we use for the front and the back. This is it. Can you see it? Now to get the side, you know the length of the purse is 4 inches. So the measurement for the side will be 4 by 3.5 inches. 4 by 3.5 inches is what we're using for the side. The wideness will be 3.5 inches while the length will be 4 inches. So now to get the H shape, you measure 0.5 inches down straight. You measure 0.5 inches by 0.5 inches. That's what I'm doing right now. So after measuring it, you rule it. After ruling it, then you cut out the shape, the H. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to trace the H out. This is it. So you need to cut 2 out, for the both sides. So to now get the bottom, to get the bottom, you place your H on the pattern and mark it. You can also measure 1.1 inches. You can minus 1.1 inches from your pattern, from the body, while the remaining one will be the length of the bottom. So if you now, after placing it, what I got was 7.8 inches. So then you use the wideness of your side, that's 3.5 inches by 7.8 inches. That will be our bottom. 3.5 inches by 7.8 inches will be for the bottom. So that's what I'm trying to cut out now. So now I've already cut the bottom. For the handle, we need to get the lining for the handle. So you need to place it on a sheet board. Okay, this is the bottom. This is the bottom. So you place the handle part on the sheet board and you trace it out. You trace it out. So you cut out 2 because we have the front and the back. You cut out 2. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to trace the handle part only. The handle part only. So that's what I will trace out now. So that will serve as the sheet board for the lining, the pattern for the lining. I hope you can see. So the next thing to do now is to place your front and the back pattern on the soft double face leather and mark the part where you will apply gum on. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So I've already marked the part. Now I will apply gum on it and also apply gum on the sheet board. So I've done that now. So can you see it? So now I will place the sheet board on the leather. So I've done that. So I'll place the second one also. Don't forget that it's only the front and the back pattern that we're placing on soft double face leather. So after that, you trace it out. You're not adding any extra leather. So you trace it out exactly the exact shape of the pattern. You trace it out. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. The middle, you use your cutter to notch it, then you use your scissors to trim it. So you trace it out without adding or reducing any measurement. So you trace it out. Can you see what I'm doing? Don't forget that the back, the side and the bottom, you're not using soft double face leather for it. It's only the front and the back that you're using it for. So now after tracing it out, next thing to do is to cut out the foam that you will use. Then you're cutting out the foam that you use is, you can place your pattern on it and mark it. That's 4 inches by 9 inches. 4 inches by 9 inches. That's where you are fixing your foam. Can you see it? So you cut out two foams, front and the back. So next thing to do now is to apply gum on your leather and place your foam on it. You gum the foam on the leather. So that's what I'm doing. That's the part, the down part, that's the 4 inches part that you're applying gum on. So you place your foam on it. So you can apply on the foam also. You can apply gum on the foam also. And if you have excess, you need to trim the excess out. You need to trim all the excess out. So after gumming it, you take your mallet and press it down. So this is it. So the next thing to do now, you need to cut out all the lining. You can use lining for the front and the back. You can use lining for all the sides and the bottom, and also you can use leather as the lining. So now you need to gum the pattern on the plain leather. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm marking where to apply gum. Don't forget that if you're applying gum on this one, you need to leave like 1 inch on all sides. Can you see? So you need to leave excess. So the side, all the pattern, the side, the bottom, the handle lining, you need to gum it on the leather. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So for the D-ring also, you cut 0.6 by 2.5 inches out and place it on the leather. So that's it. So you apply gum on your leather and also on all the patterns. So you need to apply gum. Where you gum on the leather is the foam part. Can you see it? The foam part is where you gum on the leather. So the sides, all the sides, the bottom, you need to gum them also on the leather. Okay. So I've already cut the lining. So I'm using leather as the lining for the side and the bottom. The side and the bottom only. But for the front and the back, I'm using normal lining. So for the side, you need to carefully gum the down part and notch it. You notch the edge part, then you gum it. Can you see? So I'm trying to notch it. So you notch the edge part, notch all the sides, and gum. Then you wrap it on the sheet board. So it's only sheet board that I'm using for the side. I'm using sheet board for the side and for the bottom, but the lining for the side and the bottom is leather. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So for the handle, also the handle lining, you need to notch it and fold the leather on the sheet board. I'm using only sheet board also for the handle lining, sheet board and leather. Okay, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I would advise you watch the video at least 2 times before you start cutting your hole. So you can take a sheet of paper, you can take a notebook and analyze it, then you write down the step by step very well, then you start your own while you're watching the video also. Do you understand? So you notch it very well, and while notching it you need to be careful so that you don't over notch the leather. So you need to fold the leather on the sheet board very well and make sure all the shape is out. So all the shapes must be out. Okay, so this is it. Can you see it? So after that, you notch the front part and also gum it. So after gumming it, don't forget to trim all the excess leather. So you need to trim it, all the excess leather, you trim all. So to fix the lining, you apply gum on the lining. You know, I'm using leather for the side and the bottom lining. So you apply gum on the sheet board and also on the leather. Before you now gum the two together, you need to fix your D-ring. To fix your D-ring, you measure 2.2 inches. then you make sure it's in the middle, then you punch it. You can sew it, you can also use rivet to pin it, and so I'm using rivet. Okay, so after pinning it, you use your hammer, then you place your lining. Okay, you can reduce the lining with 0.1 inches. Now we move to the sewing. This is the long hand, you sew it straight. Okay, this is the front. What you need to do is to get your magic pen. Okay, the magic pen is, you can clean it, okay, and it won't stain your leather. So you first measure 4 inches. You know the length of the bag is 4 inches. You first measure 4 inches and rule it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Can you see what I'm doing? So you rule it. So after ruling it, you measure 1.1 inches on the both edges. 1.1 inches on the both edges. After that, you use 1 inches. 1.1 inches on the both edges. Then you use 1 inches. Okay, use 1 inches. So we're designing the bag. So that's how we do. That's how we sew it. That's the pattern. So you first of all design the front and the back first. Can you see it? So we now sew it straight. You sew it straight. So you just place it on your machine. Then you sew it straight. That's what I'm trying to do. So the both sides, that is the front and the back, will have pattern. So that's how you do. You sew it straight. So any bag that you want to pattern, you first of all design the pattern on the leather before you now sew it. So the next thing to do now is to sew the zip cloth on the extra zip flap. So you need to measure for the zip flap, you measure 0.7 inches by 7 inches. 0.7 inches by 7 inches. So you cut 2 out, then you sew your zip cloth on it. You cut 2 out and sew your zip cloth on it. Okay, can you see how I want to place the zip cloth? So that's how you place it on it. That's what I'm doing right now. So after sewing the zip cloth straight, you need to top stitch the zip cloth. So you top stitch it before sewing it on the handle lining. You sew it on the handle lining. I hope you can see how I place the zip flap on the handle lining. I hope you can see it. So you just sew it straight. So you do the same thing on the other part also. You don't need to top stitch after sewing it straight. Okay, so you leave it. So the next thing to do now is to fix your lining first. You need to fix the lining before you now fix the body lining, before you now fix the handle lining. Okay, I've already patterned the second one also. Okay, and can you see it? So now you first of all gum the lining on the, so you apply gum on your leather, then you fix the lining on it. You apply gum on the leather and fix your lining on it. So this is it. Can you see it? So you fix the lining. After that, you apply gum on the handle lining also and fix it. But before fixing it, you need to sew the line. That's where you measure 4 inches. You need to sew it straight. You sew it straight. So you do the same thing on the back also. So after that, gently set your handle lining. So you gently set it. So you fix it. After that, we'll start the sewing after fixing it. So before you fix it, you need to clean the pencil. That is the magic pen that we use. You are just apply a little water in the foam and clean the material. So can you see it? So now use your mallet to press it down. We'll start with the side. You sew the upper side, you sew it straight. That's for the both side. You sew it straight. So after sewing it, now you sew the side to the bottom. You set it very well. You now start from, you only sew the middle. You sew the middle. You sew the side with the bottom. You sew the middle. Can you see it? Can you see it? So you do the same thing on the, this is it. So we already have our side. Next thing to do now is to sew the handle. You sew it round. So the circle also, you sew it round. So that's what I'm doing now. So now we need to fix the side. You place it on it. You can use your clip or you use super glue. But before using super glue, you need to make sure that you've already set the side first. First of all, set it and be sure that okay, the side is okay and perfectly done. Do you understand? Before you now apply super glue, because once you apply super glue, you may not be able to open it. Okay, so you apply super glue around so that it won't be moving or shifting on the machine. That's why we do apply super glue. You can also use your clip to hold it. You can watch my previous video where I use clip to hold it. So you can also use super glue if you don't have clip. So this will make it easy for us to be able to sew it. So it make it easy. So you gently apply your oil on it on the both side, then you start sewing it. You sew it round. Okay. You can sew it on the other side. I just decided to sew it because I want the stitches to be the same. That's why I'm sewing it from the front. You can sew it from the other side. Okay. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So it's very easy. If you want to be using blackhead machine to sew padded bag, it is preferable you use soft marco or you use soft double face leather. Soft double face leather is still the best. It's still the best. So it will make it very easy for you to be able to sew it on your machine. Okay, as you can see that it's very easy to sew on this. And make sure that the leather that you are using, the plain or the skin leather that you are using, is also a soft skin leather. Okay, so the second part now, we sew it also on it. So you can use your super glue and glue it, or use your clip, then you sew it round also. Sew it around. You do the same thing. Now our bag is already forming. Can you see it? So it's very easy to sew the both side on your black leather, on your black machine, So that's what I'm doing right now. So we're about to, wow, this is it. Next thing to do now, fix your zip teeth. After fixing the zip teeth, then you fix your stopper, your zip stopper. Okay, you make sure you set the zip teeth very well. Then you trim the excess zip, but don't trim all. So you leave like 2.5 inches. Then you take your zip stopper. You first apply super glue. You can use the leather as a zip stopper. If you can't get the ready-made stopper, you can use the leather also. So you apply super glue also inside the zip stopper. So you make sure you allow it to dry. If you don't allow it, you can see that it removed. So you need to allow it to dry so that it won't remove. After that, fix your long handle on the bag. Then the next thing to do, start carrying your bag, or you take the bag to the market and you sell it. Okay, so we have our bag ready. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned so many things on the video. Don't forget to send your practical work to me if you're watching on Telegram, and if you're watching on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.